there was a need for more recipes, not just food lists, and that's when we created a little cookbook.
Oh, that
little thing that we launched last year, right here, that sold over 400,000 copies. And we started on Cookbook 2.
And when we started on Cookbook 2, we had a realization. We said, wouldn't it be better it's kind of like we said about fitness way back when. It's like, who's getting their fitness out of a magazine when you really want it to be demonstrated for you? So we said, hey, wait a minute, we've got our own TV network called Beachbody On Demand. Let's make it a TV show. And we had the gourmet chef brother to help us. So how did you get sucked into this awesome project?
Well, for me, it started a little over 2 years ago when I went to visit my sister in LA. I was really excited to cook for her. I was working as a chef in New York. I wanted to cook for my nephew Dominic, and I love cooking for family. And I walk in the door, and Autumn hands me the 21-day fix booklet, and she says, "What can you cook like this?" And I opened it up, and I said, "No, I have never cooked like that." But as I got into it and I started thinking about it, it really got me thinking outside the box of my classical training, and I was coming up with great ideas, and we started testing them in Autumn's kitchen, and she was telling me what she thought, and I was thinking we were making recipes as good as in any restaurant I ever worked in, and I loved it. It was a great time.
Yeah, so he did a few of the recipes in the original FIXATE. He converted some of Grandma's recipes that weren't so healthy to be Fix approved, came up with a few of his own, and when we started the second cookbook, obviously we brought him on for all of the recipes, and now here we are picking on each other.
So, so describe the shows are what, maybe 10, 15 minutes long?
Anywhere between 5 and 15 depending on the recipe and how in-depth the recipe is, and there is a wide range of super simple to a little bit more complex.
Yeah, we try to give a range in there, depending on your cooking skills and how much time you have to devote.
He has the cooking skills, I'm working on.
They're getting really good, actually. She's got a great sense of flavor, and you can't buy that. I think it's in the genes.
So describe the structure of the show, and just briefly, how is it put together?
Yeah, so we have the recipe, we introduce what the recipe is, then we get into cooking it, demonstrating it. There's a lot of education that's happening in it, where Bobby's maybe teaching you like a certain cooking technique, but I'm teaching you guys the health benefit of the ingredients that we're using and why we're using them over some of the other ingredients that we have, and then we wrap it up with the recipe being presented. We taste it to let you know what we think. We even bring little man on to taste some of it to let you guys know that they are kid approved, and those are his real reactions that you see up there. And then we give you the container equivalent, so.
And you also provide a PDF that people can print out.
Yes.
So right there, we're going to have a PDF, and people will be able to print out whatever.
PDF and a grocery list. The grocery list will always be on there, so you have the list that you can take with you. Here's all the ingredients you need to make it so that you're well prepared.
Yeah.
And there's everything in there. There's gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, vegetarian, paleo.
We're going the whole gambit.
Yeah.
You really put me to the test on this.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, cocktails.
Cocktails, snacks.
Easy. They'll all leave. So we're going to put these up mid to late August once they get done editing them. And how often will we put new recipes up? What do you think?
I think they're going up every week. From
every week, a couple new recipes. So
don't quote me on that.
Now I won't quote you. I should actually know that. But let's also talk about what I'm super excited about. This is you get a lot of questions about how to use the containers, and in fact, one of the reasons we get returns on Fix or Portion Fix is when people are like, you know what, I never figured out how to use the containers, or really they didn't get the results because they didn't know how to prepare their kitchen. Talk about the Fix Foundation thing.
Yes, so we have 4 foundational videos, which is really to get you set up on using the container system. So we have Containers 101, where I'm talking about what the containers are, how to use them, making sure you go through your guidebook. We have Pantry Raid, where we go into your pantry and we show you how to make it over. Like, this is what you probably have, this is what you should have, so that you're well prepared to make the recipes that we have. We have 2 different versions of meal prep, so your prep, because I think that's the hardest one, is people are like, but how do I prep? And I have a very distinct way that I prep, and then there's another way that I see most people. There's hundreds of ways I'm sure you could do it, but there's 2 very popular ways. So I break that down for you into 2 different segments, and I think those are really important to getting people excited about using the containers and feeling like they have the knowledge to use them.
So when we talk about Beachbody On Demand, and you know, people are used to maybe another streaming service, and they're used to getting fitness videos. This is the kind of thing that we're talking about is going to make this accessible to 226 million people to change. They don't need to do the workouts. They can start with the food. They have the containers. Now they're going to have the tips to use the food. Now, real quick, what is what recipe are you most excited about them trying that we're going to put up over the course of the next 6 months?
There's so many.
I'm putting you on the spot, I know.
I know, right? I'm like, oh my
this
God.
one is going to blow their mind.
I've got a few in my mind. I think our cherry orange muffins, which are
amazing,
vegan and gluten-free, and when I tried the final result, I was like, I'm eating these muffins forever now. These are the best muffins I've ever eaten.
They are pretty amazing, actually.
I think the braised chicken in Oaxacan mole is awesome.
Guacamole!
Oaxacan,
Okay, by the way,
not guacamole.
I'm sorry, I just have to tell you this. I had to say Oaxacan mole, and like to the camera was like, they're like, Autumn, you say Oaxacan mole, and I was like, guacamole? And you're like, no.
It took a few tries.
So anyway.
I think that's a great traditional recipe that's also healthy, and I mean, who doesn't love dark chocolate? And it's great for you, and that's what's in the sauce. And what about?
I like, we have kid-approved kale nachos. Those are awesome. Like those I was really excited about because, and we have a vegan version of those as well that were just like,
And
I know, no, I lied, that's not my favorite.
No, I know
tell you
what it is.
No, you don't, you do.
It's the little peach thing with the cheese on
Nope.
it. Oh, what is that called?
Mascarpone. Peaches and mascarpone.
That's gonna be
grilled
great.
peaches.
No.
Mascarpone
All right, what is yours?
cheese. It's so good.
It's the cauliflower breadsticks.
Cauliflower, really?
They're so good. Like, oh my God, they're so good.
That was your idea.
I know, and I'm
Yeah,
having
you
it the
of
other
course.
day.
All right. Are you guys done?
Sorry.
Okay.
We're just chatting.
All right.
Back to your show.
Yeah, back to my little show here. Okay. So, FIXATE will be debuting in just a few weeks, really, on Beachbody On